Hi guys, it's Maaike. Today I'm back with an AAA cards challenge. This is the card I made for it. It's number 138. Our theme is along the edge and the optional twist is use sewing. And I have this Stampers Anonymous Tim Holtz stamp sewing border I wanted to use on the bottom. I've printed this Bugaboo Digi-stamp on the paper I just showed you, Tana's Ecolina, and I didn't stamp or didn't print all the way to the edge, so I'm just cutting that off and making it a little bit smaller, so when I position it behind the opening I want to make, it will not stick out anywhere, hopefully. I pulled out the stitched dies, but I thought this is, because of the stitching, but then I wanted to stamp it rather than using the die with the stitched edge. And these stamps, I've got them off a sale send second hand from Facebook, and it came without packaging, so I have no idea, I just like them. And yeah, I'm sure you might have similar ones, I don't know what they are. And then otherwise just use a stitched die. You don't have to make the same card as I have along the edge. That's why I positioned the lady on the side, and I'm cutting a window which is not completely round because I want it to be on the edge. And then I position my stamp around it, and maybe a different color than black would have been nice because I thought it was very harsh and very invasive on my white space, but yeah, it still worked. I also did add the Tim Holtz one on the bottom with a stamp positioner because I thought it was too much stamping, but I kind of bought it on purpose, so I thought I should use it, so I did in the end. Yeah, does that make sense? Yeah, sometimes I regret my train of thoughts. And yeah, there's stitching already and sewing theme in the lady that wears an what's that called, a bobbin on her head and a needle. She's like the sewing queen, I think it's called. I'm using the aqua blend pencils. I have all the tins, so I'm using different tins for different colors, and I started with water, and then I realized that my printer paper might not be completely waterproof. It is pretty much waterproof. Maybe I should have heat setted it, but then I switched to the Dove blender pen just for ease and precision. Actually, see that these brushes have really long bristles, and that retains a lot of water, which is great for watercoloring, but not in small areas like this. So yeah, I first switched pencils, but then I went to get my Dove blender pen. So her breasts are a bit low. Gravity has done its magic, I think, but I still gave her brown hair instead of gray, so I think because of the stamp I've added the sentiment in Photoshop, and you could do it in Word of course as well, and it says make your own style. You could add something in the inside like you will never go out of fashion. I didn't on the card front because that eats up my white space, but because of the sentiment it says make your own style, I thought I should use weird bright colors that some old ladies like to combine. Yeah, I'm not a pattern kind of girl, and I'm also one color with neutral pens or something. But anyway, I will turn on some music, and I will catch you next time. I mounted the panel with foam tape, and because it's really thin and flimsy, I added quite a lot of foam tape just to make it sturdy. And then I had a smudge on my circle, so I disguised that with a Create a Smile enamel shape. And just because it felt lonely, I had it free. I hope you will join us with this challenge. You can win a prize from Stamploration. That's our sponsor this fortnight, and you might get lucky if you enter. So thank you for watching, and I will see you again very soon. Bye. To stamp the Tim Holtz stamp, I'm using the good old stamp positioner. I've put these little craft foam on it because otherwise it's too slippery for my liking. And now it's raised up a little bit, so you have to make sure you get it right in the corner, and also with the stamp. And the stamp is so narrow, it kept rocking, like, can you see that? It just wobbled, and that's okay for the tryout bit. But I was so worried about wearing my panel. But you stamp it on the acetate, then you position the acetate where you want your stamp to go, and then you put the corner back in so you know where to tuck in your stamp. Do not move anything anymore. And I was like, oh. Yeah, I never use the stamp positioner anymore, but you have to kind of with a rubber stamp or a wood mounted stamp. But it worked out great, so yay. I almost winged it with pen instead of this, and I'm resetting it to be safe because it's VersaFine clear ink. It's pigment ink, it stays wet, and I had a smudge because I didn't do that with the circle. So as I said, I will just cover it up. So I'm mounting it with foam. Then I thought I will put the lady where I want it. Then I thought, no, maybe I should add, and I was fumbling a little bit here, but it worked out the way I wanted it to go first. And I had to turn them up a little bit, so that's okay. It still worked. I think it turned out really cute. And I left the links on my blogs to the Bugaboo stamp that I got, and the Tim Holtz one, and where you have to enter if you want to play with the AA cards challenge. So thank you for watching again. I already said that, but I wanted to show you how the stamp position worked, and I came back for it. So bye.